Hey, remember when I said I was gonna talk about nothing but bangers this week, and that we were gonna watch nothing but good things this week, at the very least good or serviceable? I do too. I miss that naive little fuck. I wonder what happened. So, we tried. I need to stop selecting movies that either have a neat cover or a funny title, because all times but once, it has been a fucking disaster. Stuff Stephanie in the incinerator. Spookies. Shit. Honestly, that's really been it. This movie is included with that. The only one that it didn't fail on, spectacularly, was Maniac Cop. Maniac Cop turned out to be one of the best movies of this entire thing. But I'm here today to talk to you about a movie that I read the title of, thought, that's funny, looked at the cover, said, that's a fucking amazing cover, let's watch this. To then be bombarded by a 4:3 aspect ratio, very clearly a VHS rip. I think this probably was shot on film. Never put to anything better than VHS, apparently, and was one of the worst fucking things I've ever seen. We are batting average of like good movie to like shit constantly. We got Chud, good. Chud 2, terrible. Bone Tomahawk, fucking amazing. Bloody New Year? Shit. Actually just a waste of time. It's not... it sucks that the bar is so low for what I can say is the worst thing I've watched. This is like eking its way above Stuff Stephanie in the incinerator, but barely. And like, more happens, but with no explanation or any clarity, and it pisses me off. I don't know what that was. But, okay. Bloody New Year is directed by Norman J. Warren. Norman J. Warren has directed such classics as Inseminoid, Satan's Slave, Prey, Terror, Spaced Out, Her Private Hell, Gunpowder, and stars such wonderful actors as Susie Atchison, who has been in Like Father, Like Son and Bloody New Year, and Nikki Brooks, who has been in Bloody New Year, and Colin Haywood, who has been in United Kingdom and Bloody New Year, and Mark Prowley, who has been in Bronson Wing Commander and Bloody New Year. So the main point of this is that no one has been in this movie. Nobody in this movie went anywhere. And I can't imagine why. I just can't. I can't imagine why. What could it be? Could it be the fact that none of them are believable characters? Could it be that the story is shit? Could it be that their acting is pretty shaky? Could it be that everything in this movie sucks? Could it be the fact that the only real positive is that sometimes the gore looks okay, or the effect looks alright, and sometimes the camera, well, not sometimes, but most of the time, the camera's in focus? Could that be it? Yes. Bloody New Year is like, it's an hour and 30 minutes. I think it's like just under an hour 30. Nope. It's an hour and 35 minutes. The movie's an hour 35 minutes. And within 4 minutes, we're already filling time. And what I mean by filling time is we are introduced to our characters. And by introduced, I mean they talk a couple times, not enough to remember any of them. They say a couple lines, and now we're at the fun fair. And now we're filming glory shots of the fun fair with none of our characters in any shot, because it was in town when they were shooting the movie, so they just needed to fill fucking time. Jesus, we're like, what, 5 minutes in and we're already filling time? That's not good. We might be in for some shit. Uh-oh. And then all of a sudden, something has to happen, so there's 3 goobers who are keeping a woman on a tilt-a-whirl by just crowding around her and spinning it around, and then some ass shuts the thing off, and it turns out, oh, he's one of our main characters. Turns out he becomes, like, the main character. He rips a fuse out and turns it off, and then there's a boring as chase scene through a haunted house, which sounds like, a chase theme through a theme park's haunted house, except you can't see anything because it's a VHS rip and it's too goddamn dark. A car drives through the haunted house, they get on, it's hauling a boat, they get on the boat, they get out, they're gone. Those goobers are never seen again. Now we're on a boat, which, by the way, the movie started at the beach. So we went from the beach to the fun fair back to the fucking ocean to go on a boat now. We could have just gone beach, ocean, but instead we needed to get 9 minutes of nothing. But it wasn't 9 minutes of nothing. 1 minute of that mattered. The goobers that attacked the woman, because an hour and 20 minutes later, oh my god, they're back for some reason. I'll get into why that doesn't make any sense, but they're on the boat capsizes, they find an island, and the island is here now. They're on this island. Well, welcome. There's very clearly some weird shit going on the island. Stuff is moving in this hotel on the island for reasons. Doors are closing, people are appearing and disappearing. There's some weird stuff happening. People are seeing other people in mirrors. It's weird. And initially I'm like, okay, it's a spooky ghost movie with spooky ghosts. I got it. Then a banister bites somebody. A banister comes to life. A net comes to life. The wall comes to life. And I'm like, okay, what's our monster? Then one of our 6 teenagers dies by getting just a simple little scratch to the face. Oh, also, he gets scratched by somebody who was in a movie and then jumps out of the movie to kill the person and then jumps back into, like, the projector camera. Move on. Whatever. Shut up. Who gives a shit? Then one of our 6 teenagers dies, so now there's 5, and now one of them is possessed. I guess that can happen. And it's not that she's just possessed. I need to, oh my god, I don't even know how to, this movie's so fucking hard to explain. You can't quantify what's going on. You can't even begin to understand what's going on because nothing is explained to you. And then when it is explained to you, you're like, oh, except no, it doesn't make any fucking sense actually. What are you talking about? The goobers from the beginning make it to the island. Which immediately in my head, I'm like, okay, that means they took a boat here. So your boat capsized, but there's a boat here now. Run and steal the boat. But they're here now. Guy, thug goober, punches a hole straight through one of the women's stomach. Just right impaled. And then she turns into a demon thing. I think she kills him there, or maybe it's a little later. I don't know. What? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is happening? Why did this happen? When did this happen? Where the fuck did this happen? Why? Why did these guys come here? Did they care that much that the dude ripped the fuse out to stop the tilt-a-whirl? Because one of them was just a worker. It was initially 2 guys just fucking with her, and then the worker came out to just try to stop the whole thing, and now the worker's with the thugs trying to beat the shit. What happened? Why is he there? What? And it's the worker's the one that punched a hole in her. Huh? So then that happens. Banister bites a woman. The kitchen's alive at one point. There's a snow machine in a room, and I'm not going to say there's a blizzard in the room because it's very clearly a snow machine. You can see in one scene that like the snow machine has like a wave pattern to it because somebody is off camera just like blasting the fucking thing. But then it actually turns out that all that was a fucking dream, I guess. Sometimes reverse things happen where like when the scene when the kitchen comes alive after it's done throwing plates and knives and all sorts of other shit. The film reverses and everything goes back the way that it was. But eventually later in the woods, we find an airplane that crashed that was doing an experiment with like mirrors and had the capacity to alter matter and time. And that's your explanation then at the end of the movie, which is the plane was flying over this party happening in 1959 on New Year's Eve in 1960. Plane crashed, and now ghosts are stuck in 1959 into 1960 on New Year's Eve day, and they can't leave because the plane crashed and froze time. So now they're just stuck here. Okay, got it, understood. Now, the concept of this device being able to rework matter, does that explain the wall and the banister and the net and everything other inanimate objects that come to life? Does that explain that away? What about the pilot who was alive and reaching, and then when he got whacked, he just fucking explodes? Huh? So, okay, I don't care. Oh, there's still like fucking 20 minutes left. I'm assuming that's his spirit, and then physical trauma plays out what happened to him in the airplane that crashed, because I'm sure he fucking also exploded. So then our two only survivors run and they find the boat, they get the boat, they get on the boat, they go to leave on the boat, and then they're pushing the boat out into the water. Girl gets on, guy's about to get on, and then he has a vision of the one girl he left behind, and she's saying, "Don't leave me." So he gets off and runs after her and gets stuck in quicksand or mud or something. He just can't get out. And there's like a real good look on the actor's face where it just looks like he's like accepted his fate, and it's just like, well, but then the guy that punched a hole through that woman is there, and he has the motor to this, what presumably was a speedboat that they were on without the motor. He's got the motor now, and he's gonna take the rudder. No, that's not what it's called. Am I really gonna have to look up what the parts of a fucking speedboat are called? Propeller! It's a propeller. Rudder's how you steer. The propeller's the spin. Got it. So he charges the motor, you know? And then he takes the propeller spinning, and while the dude's like neck deep in the mud, he takes the propeller and jams it into his head, except you don't see it because this movie's called Bloody New Year. Why would you want to see that happen? Why would you want to see blood? That's yucky! Ew! So it's off camera. Doesn't matter. There's like one kind of neat effect where somebody's getting their head spun like 3 times around forcibly, and then it's kind of ruined because I guess to show that the neck snapped, they just like plopped intestines here, which, now I'm not an anatomy expert or anything, or science person guy, but I don't think that twisting your neck would make your intestines, which are located around here, come out the side of your neck. I just don't really see that happening. Now if you were cut here, sure, why not? But doesn't really make much sense. And that's like the only neat effect. I kind of liked the wall coming alive because it just looked like a paint bubble. Like if you ever, we had a ceiling leak at one point, and the paint was the only thing holding that water in there, and the paint on the ceiling just kind of started to get like this bubble to it, and as the bubble would expand, the paint would kind of have like little chips, but there'd be like this almost transparent layer around it. And that's kind of what the wall looks like when there's like hands coming through. It kind of just looks like paint bubble with like paint chips and like translucent. Like that kind of look, that looked neat. Hey, that's all right actually. What the that's properly not great. That looked neat. That got a genuine like, hey, that's all right looking out of me. That's about it. I like the guy getting his arm cut off in the elevator. Hey, there we go. That was all right. That's it now, for real. That's the only other thing I can think of. Oh yeah, so a guy dies, propeller off-screened, blah, it's Bloody New Year, why would you want to see blood? And then girl is just like sitting on the boat and looks just fucking miserable, which like, same, I get it. But she then like falls through the boat, and then we're treated to, I shit you not, a 20-second scene of 1959-1960 conga line celebrating New Year's. All of our teens are there in the conga line now, like they were supposed to, like they were there in on New Year's Day 30 years ago. Except the girl that fell through the boat, she's like behind glass pounding, "Let me out," and then it freeze frames on her and ends. And that's it. It's over now. You wasted an hour and 35 minutes of your fucking time. Bone Tomahawk was 2 hours and 5 minutes. 2 hours and 11, but like 5 minutes of credits. 2 hours and 5 minutes. I would watch Bone Tomahawk 15 fucking times in a row, one shot, before watching this again. I think what they were trying to do was like low budget absurdity with a twist of Evil Dead, except what they forgot is that Evil Dead has rules. And like, yes, the Deadites kind of are zombies, kind of not, kind of demons, kind of not. They're a little weird. Our basic rules for Deadites is they bite you, they're possessed, they scratch you, you're possessed, they tree you, you're possessed, and the only way to stop them is by dismembering them. And that's really the only rule set we need for the Deadites. And anything can become a Deadite. A mounted deer head on the wall can become a Deadite. Like, it does not matter. A hand can be a Deadite. It does not matter. But there are rules set in place to how most of them function. This movie, I feel like, was trying to be Evil Dead so bad, but just was like, what if? What if now, brother? Now listen here, dude. Okay, what if, dude? Like, the fucking house itself was alive, dude. Like, what if the walls grabbed people? What if the banister with like a snake head on it could grab people? Except they're British, so it. What if the banister could fucking grab people, mate? And nobody stopped to say, hey, that's fucking stupid. They just went for it. This movie was a load of shit. This movie was fucking horrible. And I really hope the rest of this week, this does not bode for the rest of this week, because I have some other stuff planned. I just needed like 2 filler days, and Bone Tomahawk and this one were my filler days, and Bone Tomahawk was amazing, and this was shit. And then the next 4 days of what's left, I have planned out. I know what I'm doing. I just was like, this cover looks fucking awesome, and that title's kind of funny. Piss on my face, I guess. I don't know. Bloody New Year is getting a 1. It's getting a 1 out of 5. It would be down there with Stuff Stephanie. I can't actually think of a reason why it's not, so it's getting a half. It's down there with Stuff Stephanie. Fuck this movie. I hated it. I'm never watching this shit again. Amazing cover. A fantastic cover. I would get a poster of that cover, and that is the only association of this movie I would like to have in my life. I think the cover looks fucking astounding, and then everything else, we don't need to talk about anything else. The movie you imagine in your head when you look at the cover of that movie, that's it. That's the movie. Whatever you imagine that movie is, it is that, brother. It is that. Don't seek out the real thing. Don't bother. It is that. It's yeah. It's that good in your head. Just keep it that way. Tune back tomorrow for... I haven't watched it yet. I don't know which one I'm going to do first, but I'll give you the options. We're either going to see a returning cast member who I like. We're either going to see a director whom I like. And that's about it. I think I have one other thing, but I can't remember what the fuck it is off the top of my head right now. So, tune in tomorrow for one of those, because I don't remember which one I'm going to choose. Anyway, bye. Don't watch this fucking garbage. That'll get her. Oh my god, that got her.